Hello and welcome back to another episode of Good Luggage. On this episode we are going to be taking an extremely dirty wheel and hopefully transforming it and freshening it up to be, I suppose I won't say looking like new because it's fairly worn, but giving it that fresher appearance and fresher look then without going for total restoration. I'm going to go through what products I'm using and the reasons for why I'm using those products. So I have something in mind that it's you have to choose carefully what products you're using on this front. On another page it's been said that the steering wheel is actually dirtier than your toilet, okay? And the reason for that is I suppose your hands are being used for everything, you know, picking up stuff, just touching everything, whatever, and this is the first thing that it really touches when it's in the car and you're constantly rubbing it and all the rest. And how often do you actually clean your steering wheel? You do clean your toilet a lot more often than you would your steering wheel, I'm presuming anyway. So okay, so let's crack on into the video, show you the products I'm using, why I'm using them, and hopefully we can clean this up to be a hell of a lot fresher than it is now at the minute. Okay, so straight away the products that I have in mind is, well, one, I have Derma Cleaner 2.0 from Labocosmetica, which is obviously a leather cleaner, and I also have Colourlock Strong leather cleaner. And I'm going to be using, either way, I'm going to be using a brush to agitate the surfaces and stuff, and then a couple of microfibers then to clean it off then. So, but which of the two products am I going to use? Well, Derma Cleaner, I love the two of them, I have to say. I do really like the two of them. This one is a spray, whereas this one is a foamer. Now, because we're dealing with an intricate area, I suppose just we want to be focused on this particular spot, I'm going to choose the Colourlock one, the foamer, straight onto the brush, and then at least I can specifically put it on the points that I do want, so it's not going spraying everywhere or whatever. If I was doing the likes of seats or whatever and I just wanted a quick spray over everything and give it a quick rub down or whatever the case may be, just I'm not worried about the specific point that I want to put the leather cleaner on, I might use the Derma leather cleaner. So for the likes of seats and stuff that aren't particularly dirty, use that and then just use it on a wider area. So for this one, using Colourlock, I'm also going to use a couple of microfibers, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to be able to put them around sort of the dashboard area, if I can do it now. So when I am actually cleaning, it's not going to, when I'm using the bristles, it's not going to spray out all over the dashboard or anything like that. So that's obviously to keep it nice and tidy and clean. And yeah, so let's crack on and see how we start the process anyway, or see how it starts. Yeah, we'll just do a bit of a 50-50 just to get the general idea how we're getting on with it, or see what sort of a difference it's going to make on a smaller section anyway. So there's, oh, it's Mikey. I've been actually dying to do this for a long time, but just holding off on getting, I suppose, getting it dirty anyway to get a real good comparison video done. So go to there. Now, okay, so we get our brush then, and this is what we're doing. So by using the bristles, obviously leather is like a porous substance or a porous material, so you actually need the bristles to be aggregating the leather as such. You know, using a microfiber, it's just not getting into those dirty parts. So to use, I think mostly on leather, on seats and everything like that, I'd sort of been strongly advised to use the likes of a bristle brush. And we did a test on a previous video over with Peter and OCD, and he actually showed the difference between using the likes of this, which would be a leather cleaning brush, a normal everyday sort of polishing brush, I suppose, and a microfiber, and to see which one actually does a better job. And the results were serious. So I'll pop a link up there in the top if you want to have a look and stuff. You'll have to excuse on those videos there. They were long, as like a little mini series on leather cleaning, but there's a couple of issues unfortunately with my GPU, but there's a couple of little green spots in the video, but you get the idea anyway. There's also a steering wheel restoration, leather restoration there that you can have a look at. So I'm going to give it a little bit more. There's a lot of dirt on this now because it hasn't been done a while. So you can see the sort of the residue just all kind of piling up a bit. So you just have to go. One of these jobs is like you have to have patience for this one, because you have to get all around the back of it and into the stitching and just the bits that you don't see really. And you could end up doing this like 3 or 4 times, I suppose, kind of going over the same part for 3 or 4 times to see exactly how it works, or to get the best results out of it anyway. So like, it just seems like all sort of sticky residue there now at this stage. So hopefully you're seeing it on the camera anyway, what it's looking like. I did press record, didn't I? The biggest fears of making videos is that you don't press record, or you don't hit the sound button, or your sound isn't working or whatever. So anyway, so it's starting to smooth up a little bit. It's still kind of quite tacky. It feels quite tacky from all the dirt that's on it, and you can even see it. You see it, it's like a goo more so than anything there. So this is leather naturally has a pH of 4 or 4.3, I think it is, somebody said before. So you want to be getting some sort of a cleaner that is relative to the material that you're using. That's why the likes of an APC, which could ultimately have an alkaline level of 12, that's why they say like the likes of APCs are very bad for leather. So you need to bring it back more to an acidic level of 4.3. So I'll get the pH levels now in a bit of these ones to show you what they are, but they're closer to that than any other APC that'll be out there. And that's why you see on forums and the likes of that, they say, oh yeah, just use APC and a scrubber pad, or something or other, a magic eraser. But a magic eraser is far too aggressive for the likes of leather. You're just taking the top layers of the leather off. And the APC, yes, it does have cleaning properties and whatever, but it just degrades the leather so quick then, because again, going back to your pH levels and why you should be using the correct product then. So okay, let's give that a little bit of a wipe bar off and see. Now, so straight away there's a massive colour difference anyway. You can see the dirt that's coming off it there. Let's get around the back, get it all cleaned up there. Make sure that stays on for the glorious Instagram photos at the end. Now, even at that now, it's gotten it fairly good. It's still kind of rough feeling, and if I scrape it a little bit, you can still see all the dirt and stuff that's in there. So I'm going to give that another blast, and I'll come back to you. I'm going to do the same process again, but I'll come back to you after this next pass then. You're coming back to me on the 5th pass. So 5th has been done, and I'm basically just going a little bit lighter now, and we can start to see now that the dirt has dissipated, but there is naturally, now this is a 2008 car, so you're talking 14, 15 years old, whatever it is. So it is an old car. There's a certain amount of wear and tear that is on the steering wheel, naturally enough. So I don't think I'm going to get a huge amount further with this, because if I keep going further and keep agitating, I'm going to just ruin the leather completely, and that's what I've seen. So that's been, from this part to that part, that's been 5 passes. So we'll see, try and get a clean bit on the rag and just give it a bit of a wipe off. We see now eventually there's still small bits of dirt coming off, but that could be some sort of dye transfer or whatever it is. So I'm not going to go a huge amount further anyway, but that's kind of how clean we're looking it's going to be, I think. So now is going to be the moment of truth. I'm going to get a quick Instagram photo and cover shot. So let's do the big reveal. So my battery is about to run out, so I'm going to have to go and get a new battery, and I'm going to crack on at this. You see, well, it took a good while just to do 5 passes on the steering wheel, so it's going to take me a while to do this anyway, but I'll come back to you at the end and show you the finished result. Now, okay, so we finished the wheel as best as we can do. There's some bits that just are not coming off, but that's just down to wear and tear particularly. The likes of this part here, there's a bit more plasticky and there's a huge amount of wear, so that obviously gives you a good indication that if that part is worn, more or less there's a lot of wear and tear on the wheel. So I think in order to make it look perfect, you would have to go and get it fully refurbished, stripped down and then repainted and all sorts of re-dyed and all that sort of stuff. So for this, obviously I'm not going to go and do that. It's an old car anyway, it's not worth a huge amount, but it's just to give it that little bit of a freshen up. So we've cleaned it using the Colourlock Strong leather cleaner. Now, same like a sort of paint or exterior detail or whatever, you've polished it, you've cleaned it up, you've gotten rid of all your swirls, so now you need to use some protection, you need to protect it. And what I'm going to use then is the Colourlock leather shield. So this will help with the likes of dye transfer or even just abrasions, and you know, just moving along, ring on my finger there, maybe just it would protect it a little bit from a lot of those abrasions and stuff. So this is very easy to put on. You put it on straight after, and the instructions are very simple. Apply leather shield immediately after cleaning and 24 hours after touching up the colour or any repairs. So we're not doing a repair, so we're not looking at the 24 hours. Always clean first. Use a soft dry cloth and spread thinly from seam to seam in contact areas which are most exposed to friction, and then you want to repeat this every 3 to 6 months. So this is fairly easy to put on, but it will give that last little bit of protection then. So I think you'll definitely agree. Well, I'm hoping that's the case. Let me know in the comments what you think anyway. But that has definitely been a massive improvement on the car's steering wheel. As I said before, this is the possibly, more than likely, the dirtiest part of any car. Due to like sweat in your hands, dirt on your hands, picking up all sorts of different things into shops. You know, you don't know what is going to be on your steering wheel or on your hands when you're putting your hands back on the wheel and stuff. So it's definitely a huge improvement. Looks a lot cleaner, and it just brings back the sort of I know that looks a bit rough and stuff up on the top, but that's just, it's to do with, that's the wear. So knowing the difference between wear and dirt, I suppose, is a big thing, how far you can go and how far to keep cleaning and stuff like that. So at least I know on a what do I say, 14, 15-year-old car, there's definitely a lot of wear on this car anyway. So that's I'm pretty happy with that now, and I know it's protected then as well with the whole Colourlock system. So we've cleaned it and protected with the Colourlock shield to avoid any sort of dye transfer and any sort of other dirt contaminants sticking to it anyway. So I hope that was a bit of a beneficial video to you on how to exactly clean a steering wheel. There is a bit of time involved when it comes to cleaning, especially a deep clean. There's something that hasn't been cleaned in a long time, so I could have been at least an hour and a half maybe doing that all just on its own. I suppose a little bit of filming here and there, so that does take up a little bit of time, but yeah, it does take a little bit of time to just get it properly, or get it done properly and get it nice looking. So I hope you've got something from that. If you have different techniques or different products or different ways that you like to do it, please let me know in the comments. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Would appreciate the subscribe if anything anyway. So, and yeah, let me know in the comments what other ways that you do leather cleaning, or what products you use for general leather cleaning even. So okay, see you in the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.